Welcome back. Last night we watched Scoob, which was supposed to come to theaters but did not. Connor, what is the plot of Scoob?
Scoob is a movie that starts with the introduction of the friendship of Scooby and Shaggy, and basically it time jumps forward to the creation of Mystery Inc., and eventually Mystery Inc. kind of is at a crossroads because Simon Cowell decides that Shaggy and Scooby are useless to the group, and they want to improve themselves, so Shaggy and Scooby leave the group. But after they leave, they're captured almost by Dick Dastardly and his little minion robots. And then they team up with that fucking robot dog and Brian, who's the son of the Blue Falcon. And basically they try to stop Dick Dastardly. Scooby's like the key to the Anubis. He's like the
underworld?
Yeah, he's like the key to the underworld or something. And he's like the ancestor to Alexander the Great's dog. And Shaggy and Scooby are the key to unlocking the underworld. And the Scooby Gang shows up eventually again, even though they're not important for most of the movie. And they fight a bunch of robots, and then they capture Dick Dastardly. So Aiden, what did you think of Scoob?
Scoob isn't awful. My main problem is that it's like way too modern and referencey.
Right.
I don't mind Dick Dastardly being the villain so much, even though it's not a mystery. Because it's just like hanna-barbera stuff, and there's like lots of other hanna-barbera stuff stuck in there. I'm sure
Blue Falcon, there was the fucking Captain Caveman.
The girls from like Josie and the Pussycats or something?
Oh, I couldn't have told you that.
Something like that. But there was a lot of like modern bullshit in there for the lots of references. Simon Cowell was a cringe cameo. I know Scooby-Doo is certainly no stranger to cringe cameos, but
right.
That's an excessively strange one, especially for a children's movie.
It's pretty out of left field.
I don't know any kids who would know Simon Cowell anymore. American Idol's been off the air for like 15 years.
It's back on air, but he moved to X Factor in Britain. Then he moved to X Factor in America, and now he's on America's Got Talent. I don't know how I know these things. I just know from the Yahoo ads.
Simon Cowell.
Emily makes me watch X Factor with her.
But there's lots of like, they make all sorts of references. During the start of the movie, Daphne's dressed up as Wonder Woman and Shaggy's dropping Harry Potter references because it's a WB movie and they can just do that.
Well, they also mentioned Middle Earth at one time, and they're like, "Don't say things that'll get us sued." It's like, we all know Middle Earth is owned by fucking Warner Brothers too. That's why they said it.
I thought that was Lionsgate.
No,
was WB owned Lionsgate?
Warner Brothers. No,
Did Warner Brothers
Lionsgate
buy it?
They didn't buy Lionsgate. Warner Brothers made the movies.
Lots of other small stuff, iPhones and references to popular movies, lots of rap music.
Yeah, this whole music, weird. Even like the main score is like some sort of rap instrumental that plays throughout.
Yeah, like
they'll be like,
literally the first scene in the movie has California Love playing over it.
All you do is win.
Yeah,
all you do is win is in it.
Scooby twerks at one point, and the Blue Falcon dabs.
Right.
You can tell that they were like, what are things kids like? Rap music, dabbing, twerking.
Simon Cowell.
Minions robots. Dick Dastardly's Minions robots are not as bad as Minions, but you can tell exactly why they're there, is to be the Minions sell toys. Be marketable, I'm sure. If the fucking movie does good enough, we're gonna see like Dick Dastardly robot Minions the movie or something.
See, that's one thing that's shitty about VOD is we really don't know how this movie's doing.
Yeah, it's
I imagine not great, since I got it on sale for $15 like 2 weeks after it came out. 3 weeks.
Yeah. But truthfully, despite the fact that it's not a mystery at all, which kind of defeats the purpose of a show about people solving mysteries, it's not horrible. It's fine. It's watchable. It's sometimes not embarrassing to watch.
The celebrity voice acting didn't like overpower it. Like it's like Mark Wahlberg, Zac Efron, all these other fucking people, but it's not too noticeable really. I'm pretty sure Fred was Zac Efron. There's only a couple points I'm like, oh, that's Zac Efron.
Yeah, Fred was Zac Efron. The only Mark Wahlberg did stick out to me a little bit, but he's relatively
It wasn't too
minor.
bad though. It wasn't as
the one
bad
that
as
did
it
stick
bothered
out
me.
was Tracy Morgan as the
Oh,
caveman, though. He stuck out hard.
Captain Caveman. That was
He wasn't even trying. He's like, I'm Tracy Morgan.
wow, I'm a caveman. I'm a caveman with slight brain damage from my car accident.
Yeah, it was basically like that. Too much action adventure, not enough mystery.
Yeah.
It's fine. What'd you think of Scoob?
Truthfully, my biggest criticism, like you said, is it's not really a mystery. There were times that they would do kind of Scooby-Doo shit, like they had to do the homage of the Scooby-Doo original title sequence, which I didn't think was a bad way to do like a montage title sequence thing to like move them to the modern day. But at the same time, the fucking song they used for it was so bad.
Yeah, it was a bad cover.
It was a bad cover. There's been a lot of decent, even that fucking, I don't know which video will come out first, but this video we watched for the Fan Film Rewind, I won't spoil too much about it in case that video's not out yet, but they had a pretty banging Scooby-Doo cover.
Yeah, I like that one.
And I think I kind of remember the 2000s movies having a pretty banging cover at one point. I might be wrong. It could have been like Zombie Island or something, but there are a lot of Scooby-Doo covers, and this was probably the worst I heard. The animation on the main characters were really good. Like the main players in the show, like Blue Falcon looked good.
Yeah.
Scooby looked good. Shaggy looked good. Fred looked good. If you looked at any background actors, or extras, whatever, fucking side characters, they look like shit. And Simon Cowell looked like shit too. When they used him like 10 minutes of screen time, they're like, don't bother with making him look good. Like there were models that looked like fucking PS2 like Sims graphics.
Yeah,
and
there's
then
a lot of times it looked pretty cheap.
and then like the main characters looked good. So it was kind of a weird juxtaposition. The Minions robots look good. Some of the backgrounds look good. So it was very hit or miss on the art. Another thing is I don't know what I thought about like have them just solve a fucking mystery. Like it kind of lost a lot of the it's almost the opposite aesthetic of what I want Scooby-Doo to be. Like when I did my little Scooby-Doo video a couple days ago, I talked about like how important the color is and how like the hanna-barbera cartoons, while they had bad animation, like pre-WB and digital art, they did have pretty solid lighting. Like Zombie Island looked great.
Feels like it's trying to be a superhero movie.
Right, it is a superhero movie. It's definitely a superhero movie, which is where I was going to get with my criticism, but it's lit like one too. Like you're in Blue Falcon's cave and it's something you see out of like an MCU movie, like Blue Falcon's like Iron Man or something. There's like neon blue lights, it's white everywhere.
Holographic
Very like
screens.
techno modern. And the few times they did do that horror aesthetic lighting, it actually looked pretty solid. So it's kind of disappointing that you go back to like, I don't know, but it's just like they wanted to do the superhero genre because that's what's popular. And I talked about this point too in my Scooby-Doo video. It's hard to fit a Scooby movie in 80 plus minutes, but the writing in this movie wasn't terrible. I think they could have done it. It's not like the cheap direct-to-DVD, we need to whip out 5 of these a year, so just write whatever shit. You just write whatever
Stick
shit
John
real
Cena
quick.
in there and do whatever.
Yeah, they actually probably could have, it seemed like they had more like high quality writers, more time. It wasn't like we need the script done by Monday so that we can start shooting this shit. It's like they actually had time to develop this thing. And I could see the script writing was there, so it just seems baffling that they're like, superheroes are what sell. We want to put Blue Falcon in the trailer so it's a superhero movie and it sells better. That's not really what I want from Scooby-Doo. It felt like you tossed Scooby-Doo characters in a foreign situation.
Yeah.
Which a lot of the times, I think the shows that work the best, like The Hanna-Barbera show, little cheesy. There's it's not the best aged shit, but it's something I can watch as a guilty pleasure once in a while. That's Scooby-Doo at its core. A pup named Scooby-Doo, that shit still slaps because it has it at its core. But the shit that deviates too much and gets weird, like the fucking WWE racing movie, haven't seen it, but I assume it's terrible.
I would assume so. I've seen the scene where John Cena picks up the boulder and throws it away.
That's the first one. There's like 3 WWE specials with them. And it's just the WWE offered to pay for the movie as a fucking shill tactic. They get 60% of the gross and they'll pay for everything. Warner Brothers basically just gets a check.
WWE's owned by Warner, isn't it? Or it was partially funded by Turner?
Vince McMahon. No, Turner owns Nitro. Or whatever, the fucking rival, WCW. And then Vince McMahon. Like, Vince McMahon, I'm pretty sure WWE was public and then went away. I don't know much about wrestling, but no, it's independent. So it doesn't have anything to do with Warner anymore. Or ever, but it seems like they've had kind of somewhat of a connection there. Because I don't know if Surf's Up was Warner, but they did the same shit with Surf's Up. I think
Surf's Up was Sony.
Oh, so they must just hire these animated properties to be like,
yeah, I guess, make a
shill our shit and we'll pay for it, basically, because they want to get the younger fans. Makes perfect sense.
That's what Don Knotts did when he was featured in Scooby-Doo.
Maybe. I don't think Don Knotts was as much for the kids as it was. Well, maybe. I mean, people knew Don Knotts back in the day, so that was kind of just like a fun, the celebrity is coming on to the show. And like Batman, it's like, Batman's coming on the show, isn't that fun? But now it's just like, whatever. Bobby Flay's production company wants him to be more likable to kids, so we're going to have a Bobby Flay crossover movie. Just the most tragic.
Do you know what happens in the Bobby Flay one?
They fight like a cooking ghost or something, and there's like a cook-off. I've just watched the trailer for my video the other day, and I saw a part where like Bobby Flay was like cooking steaks. That was like a quarter of the trailer. I'm like, okay, sure.
No, that sounds thrilling.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like a ghost haunting a cooking competition. They had to like stop the ghost, and the ghost is probably like a disgraced chef or something.
Can't believe that's real.
Yeah, no, it's baffling.
Well.
But my point is, there's a formula you can stick to. And especially if you have time and decent writers. I mean, you got the money to hire Zac Efron, Mark Wahlberg, and a couple other pretty big names.
And fucking
right. If you got that money, use it. Also, Shaggy and Scooby were well utilized, but
the rest of the gang is just
the rest of the gang
out and drives around in the desert.
Blue Falcon is utilized, but an Astro Dog. But then you got that other girl that's with them that doesn't do shit. So really, it's a weird movie where Blue Falcon and Astro Dog, or whatever his name is, team up with Scooby and Shaggy. And it's just like, I don't know. It almost feels like the rest of the gang shouldn't have been there, because there's definitely solo shit where it's just Scooby and Shaggy.
Yeah.
Or like, it should have been a cameo at the start, but you kind of shoehorn them in at the end, and it's like, okay. I mean, I see potential in this having a sequel and stuff that might be okay. I like the art style. The voice acting, when I saw the trailers, I was like, what the fuck, this sounds like shit, but I actually got used to it and it was fine.
Yeah, no one's too bad.
Right, I was fine with a little bit of deviation from the classic. We're trying to mimic Casey Kasem and whoever else.
The fucking Fred Willard.
Right. But, I mean, yeah. I just feel like, I don't really see where this could go unless they want to just make this some sort of weird animated superhero franchise. And
hanna-barbera.
Oh look, we have Scooby-Doo, so we can
have them meet the Flintstones in the next one, or the fucking Jetsons, or both.
Right. This movie felt like they wanted to do I don't really know. I don't know why they were like Scooby-Doo but superheroes. Superhero genre is so dry. I could live with, Marvel Studios doing cape shit. DC should stop making cape shit, but then you got, Bloodshot, and apparently fucking Paramount's trying to do an Atlas universe and shit, and it's just, Does anyone realize their movies aren't working anymore? These movies are boring.
If someone came up to me with a gun and said, "Name an Atlas comic," I'd get shot.
I would probably get shot. It's Tiger Man. I don't know him because he's popular. I just saw comic tropes on him. I have a couple Atlas comic. I have some Atlas comics I've picked up throughout the years when I was collecting comics, and it's like they're cool because a lot of times they'd get like legit artists and they would like rip off Marvel as well as you can. It's like, Jack Kirby, you drew at Marvel for a long time, and he's like, yeah, and they're like, do a cover for us, and you're like, wow, this is cool, and then it's just like fucking Timmy or some shit. No, it's not even military romance. Well, that was Atlas, and it's confusing. Atlas. Basically, like, the guy who originally owned Marvel sold it to some company, like some weird ass company. This is long before Disney and shit. I think it was like a chemical company or some shit. And then he got ass mad because his son was going to take over as publisher. And they're like, actually, we want Stan Lee. And he could be like the assistant publisher. And he's like, no, my son won't be degraded like this.
So he made Atlas?
And he made Atlas. But he renamed Timely into Atlas in the 1950s. And then it changed to Marvel, like with like the Fantastic Four and shit. In like the 60s during the revival of superheroes and stuff.
And then he made a new Atlas.
Right. I don't know how he kept it.
Bought by Marvel? Or what?
No, it didn't get bought by Marvel.
Oh.
He just made Atlas, ran it for like 6 months. His superhero lines failed, so he had like a couple like magazines that were kind of like rip-offs like Conan, because everyone was ripping off Conan in the 70s.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then everything kind of just died out, and it went defunct, and he's kind of like, well, we failed, but whatever. And that's pretty much the gist of it.
Okay.
Pretty sure Stan Lee was like his nephew too or something, so it was kind of like savage all the way through.
Okay.
But yes, that was the story of Atlas, and now Paramount is reviving this company that had a superhero line that lasted 3 years. Why wouldn't they just buy like properties from Image or something that people would at least know or have more depth than?
Yeah, Paramount should just license out Spawn.
Because it's just crap. They would just
hire
people
like. Know who Spawn is.
Spawn was popular. It has like 300 issues.
Yeah, that's why I said at least people know who Spawn is.
Right. Well, Blumhouse has the rights to Spawn. They're doing a Spawn movie, and Todd McFarlane's going to direct it. The guy who made Spawn.
Cool. So I don't know if I trust Todd McFarlane to direct, but.
Well, I think he probably has a pretty robust team behind him. And he doesn't really do anything in comics anymore. He mostly just makes his money off the toys and shit he owns through Image. Like
yeah, that's kind of why I think it's going to be like a gimmicky sellout movie to push his toys.
No, I mean, he says he actually is the only person modern day that actually...
I guess he is the creator, so it's pretty neat to give him the chance to actually...
He left Image to get, or like Marvel and DC to get more like creator, creative liberties, so... The fact that he's directing the project at least means it'll be his vision. Who knows if that'll be good or bad, but at least it's not going to be a corrupted studio vision.
Fair enough.
Like Stan Lee directing Spider-Man in the 70s instead of that weird Chinese company that's like, oh, let's make a big ching-chong robot. It was kind of racist. Big robot. But, yeah, I really don't know why they would end up going with Atlas, because it's like a 3-year thing. There's plenty of other shit. Plus, like, Image, it's like up to creators to license out their properties, because everyone technically has their own rights over it. So you could like pull your shit from Image. It wouldn't, like, if Walking Dead got pulled from Image, I'm pretty sure they could do that. They probably have like a publishing contract for a number of years, but Rob Kirkman owns the rights, so Rob Kirkman can be like, I want to sell movie rights to whoever. Yeah. AMC or whatever.
Sure. I get you.
So, in theory, they could be like, I want to do Savage Dragon and Wild Cats or something and just buy those rights, but they went with Atlas because they were cheap and they somehow think they can push like a Tiger Man movie. But my point is...
I wonder if Sony still has the movie rights to BioShock. That'd be a fucking cringe fest.
Probably not, because I thought it was like 2012 they were gonna...
It was before Amazing Spider-Man 2, so it was probably 2011.
Yeah, it's a lapse right now. I mean, unless they got like a crazy deal from 2K, unless 2K signed some crazy deal, but a lot of times for big franchises, it's like you got 5 years to make the movie or it elapses. You can't just buy a property so other people can't make it. So they probably paid like
Yeah.
$1 million for movie rights, plus signed away some equity to the movie, and then basically
sure,
just
yeah.
never made it.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, back to Scoob.
Anyways, that is our Drunkview way to just get on tangents.
It was
We
an
definitely-
interesting one.
We haven't made a Drunkview in a while. Jesus, we're only at 22 minutes. We do not have much to say about
I spent
Scoob.
like 10 minutes talking about Atlas.
Right. Whatever. Ultimately, it's fun, but it is kind of just generic cape shit. It has its issues, but I mean, I would say if you got kids or something, it's on sale for $15 right now. It might not be by the time this comes out, or it's going to be just at the end of the sale. But if you catch it on sale for $10, you might as well buy it. I mean, the sale is $15 to rent or $15 to buy in any resolution. So if you pay the $15 to get it in 2K,
4K.
probably 4K, you can get your uses out of it. It's fine. It's good. It's fun, but it's not great by any means. So Aiden, would you recommend Scoob?
It's good for what it is. I wouldn't go out of your way to watch it, but like you said, a good, decent movie to watch with a kid. If it's on sale, maybe. You know?
It's definitely
it's fine.
very good in terms of kids movies these days. At least like not quite like Pixar tier, but because even bad Pixar is still good 40% of the time.
It's like on a similar level to like the more recent SpongeBob one, not the one that's not out yet.
Oh, Sponge Out of Water or whatever.
Yeah, Sponge Out of Water, where it's like
that's also
very
superheroes.
watchable and also not awful.
Right.
So I'd kind of recommend it on that point, but I wouldn't go to your way to watch it or nothing. So Connor, would you recommend Scoob?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much as you said, I would recommend it in the same, like, if you got kids or something, it's worth a watch. If you're a fan of Scooby-Doo, it's worth a watch, but you also got to keep in mind it is kind of just more generic cape shit, so if you're not in the mood to just watch it, generic superhero film starring the Scooby-Doo gang, probably just skip it.
And remember, we're the first Scoob tubers, so like and subscribe for more
We're probably
Scooby
not,
content.
dude. There's probably some sort of like Total Drama Ricky of Scooby-Doo.
Alright, just
Shout out Total Drama Ricky again, man. Total Drama Ricky.
TDR, keep rocking, dude.
Keep rocking.
Host another live stream. I'll host a live stream with you, even if we can't do a full collab. I'll live stream with you sometime. We can play Fortnite or
Sonic
Call
Adventure.
of Duty Fortnite.
Sonic Adventure, dude.
That'd be pretty fun,
He
actually.
was playing Sonic 06 a while back on his live stream.
But none of the... I don't think any Sonic game has like any form of online co-op, though.
That's true.
You might be able to do races on Sonic Mania online. I should race Ricky.
Yeah. Anyways, we have a lot of content coming up. Drunk views have kind of been slowing down.
Because
It's okay,
nothing to
'cause
watch right now.
There's nothing new to watch, and it's everybody's least favorite content on our channel. So
we got more fan film reviews. We got more video game reviews.
we could do another Netflix roulette. No one watched it through, really, but got a lot of views because the name
Yeah,
worked.
we could try again. Hopefully, get some more interesting stuff to watch.
Yeah. Let us know what you want to see. We got like 10 videos we got planned.
Yeah, we got lots of
And
stuff.
we tried to
I got
film a bunch of shit today, but it didn't work out.
I got a very
Inspiring
exciting
Paris Gray.
video about catfish coming out.
Yeah, we were trying to make Aiden look like Max, but it didn't really work out. Hopefully we can
Anyway, thanks for watching.
guys. Thank you for watching. Again, subscribe. We're at 613. Thank you. We're over 600 now. Probably already gonna cut it off right when we're not talking about it, so none of this will be in, but whatever.